who the Most High shall call. So here we go. Go to Acts 2:21 and 22. Go here with me. Acts 2:21. Acts 2:21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on by Hashem Yahushua shall be saved. Where it said delivered in the old. But it said saved, translation in the Greek. From the Greek to the English. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Who's he talking to? Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Not everybody. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Mashiach Yahushua of Nazareth, a man approved of the Most High among you men of Israel, by miracles and wonders and signs which the Most High did by him, by Mashiach Yahushua, where? In the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know. So I'm just showing you how to break down that one scripture, John 3:16, where I could do there's a lot of scriptures I can go through and, breaking that down, but that was a short version to show you it's still talking about salvation to Israel. Point blank. Not everybody. Because there's a conversation between two brothers. And we ain't sitting up here talking about no other nations. No good and well, we don't sit up here talking about no Cambodians. No Vietnamese. That's why I ask people, when they say, oh, you're racist, you're this, so who are you concerned with? The Eskimos? It looked like that's the first thing from their mind. Our people, that's the first thing from their mind. They ain't think about no Eskimos, no Cambodians, South Pacific Islanders. They ain't think about none of them. They just think about the so-called white man, white people. That's our people. Shame. I mean, they have a problem. When I say this is false, we the main ones have a problem. That's why I say you've been programmed. They've been programmed. That's why you got to deprogram your mind. This is a lie right here. Come on. They laugh at you. You think he's going to come from the heavens, from the fourth dimension and set righteousness on this earth? They all laugh. And our people be having a problem with it. Our people, that's how programmed we are. They laugh. They look at them and laugh. Nah, they say no. They know better. They say, oh, he came from the Middle East. He couldn't have been a so-called white man. That's what they've been saying. But our people still got that madness that they have been programmed in their minds and their thinking. Sad to say, but it's real, people. That's why we're looking for the remnant. That 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. All you that don't want to get your act together, don't want to be together, then burn with the rest of them. But we hopefully that I don't want nobody to perish, but what can you say? It's written. It's going to happen. You're going to cast people into the lake of fire. Hebrews 10 and 32. See, a lot of people look at this, you want something that's going to make you feel good? Go to church tomorrow. Take your butt to church tomorrow. Go in them churches, they're going to be having the music going. They're going to pass the plate about 3-4 times, maybe 5 times. Got the ATM machine in the middle. Give them all your money. You run around the church like a chicken with his head cut off, talking about you got the spirit and all that stuff. And get a feeling good, Or go to a concert tonight, because that's all it is. Go to the concert tonight, you go to church tomorrow. It's just different type of music, but it's still. Then you get up to shout and I feel it. You get the feeling like you be on there working or whatever y'all be doing at the clubs. Same old, same old. It's a show, it's a concert. That's all it is. This ain't gonna be nice. This time of Jacob's trouble. We going through a lot as a people. We got no time. That's why it says, look, Hebrews 10:32. Well, 31, it says, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. I mean, you better be afraid of him, but call to remembrance, he said, to the former days, in which after you were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions. See? But see, some people don't want to deal with these afflictions that you're going to have to deal with. You've got to deal with these afflictions. You say, when you illuminate it, how do you illuminate it? Go to Baruch, the 4th chapter, the 1st verse in the Apocrypha. Baruch, the 4th chapter, the 1st verse. We're going to read 1 and 2. It's on page 105. See, we got to look, that's why I said, it said, call to remembrance the former days. What is he saying? Go into these scriptures and look at our ancestors, what they went through. Look at what worked and what didn't work. So we find out what works, what pleased the Most High, then we can do the same thing to please him. We find out what didn't please him, he brought that wrath down upon us, then we don't do those things. It's simple. When the book is closed, you follow what it is that your ancestors. That's what it said, call to remembrance the former days. Right? So here we are, going back all the way to Baruch. It says, this is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law, it's the Most High's laws that endure forever. All they that keep it shall come to life. All they that keep the laws shall come to everlasting life. But such as leave it shall die. That's simple. You follow the laws, you have opportunity to make it to everlasting life. You leave the laws, you're going to die and be cast into the lake of fire. He said, turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Take hold of the laws of the Most High. He gave us moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, and ceremonial laws that we have to follow now. The sacrificial law was done away with when the Mashiach Yahushua's precious blood was shed for the children of Israel. He said, verse 2, turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. See? You're not illuminated if you ain't went through these laws. If you don't know the laws, you're not illuminated. That's why it says, go back to Hebrews 10:32. But call to remembrance the former days. That's why I go to Job 30 and 30. Job 30 and 30. Not Job 8 and 8, select Job 8 and 8. Job 8 and 8. Let's Job 8 and 8, just to get there. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are as a shadow. Shall not they teach thee and tell thee in other words out of their heart? See? But we looking at our forefathers we just read in Baruch. Now we in Hebrews. Everybody in the Bible's not here. You know what I mean? They are our ancestors. And we're looking at our ancestors, we read this Bible. And they're giving us the rules and regulations of the Most High, what pleases him and what makes him angry. Either he's happy with us or he's angry with us. And he brings indignation down upon us. That's why it says, that's why we being proved. Everything we go through is a proving method that the Most High is using against us and for us. That's why it says, a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. You want to go into the hands of the Most High? We ain't talking about what you learned in church. We talking about the real Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob of this Bible. That's why Mashiach Yahushua said, hey man, I'm the mediator between you and him. Because the Most High is a consuming fire. He's a consumer. This real, I mean. Revelations 12:29. Hebrews 12:29. Hebrews 12:29. For our power is a consuming fire. Our power is a consuming fire. See, people if you don't know the Most High, you need to be aware of who you're calling on and who you're dealing with those that have been called to bring this truth on this earth and have sacrificed their life for this truth, because it's very important. Did you see this? Besides a consuming fire. Whew. Man. Look what he said in Ezekiel 21 and 31. Ezekiel 21 and 31. He said, I will pour out my indignation upon thee. I will blow against thee in the fire of my wrath, and deliver thee into the hand of beauteous men and skillful to destroy. Thou shalt be for fuel to the fire. Thy blood shall be in the midst of the land. Thou shalt be no more remembered, for I, the Most High, have spoken it. Ezekiel 22 and 20. These are precepts as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in mine anger, he just said. In verse 31 of Ezekiel 21, and I will pour out my indignation upon thee. I will blow against thee in the fire of my wrath, and deliver thee into the hand of beauteous men and skillful to destroy. He said, as they gather silver, Ezekiel 22 and 20, and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Woo. Yeah, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, just like you just said. And ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof. And ye shall know that I, the Most High, have poured out my fury upon you. That's how you get our attention. Been doing it for years. That's how you get our attention. Go back to Hebrews 10. So that's what we're looking at. In verse 32. Well, verse 31. Once again, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. That's why a lot of people don't really want to, I guess they don't want to know too much of the Most High. They'll tell me, that's that old. I went to the Old Testament. Oh, that's that old. That guy is mean. That guy is mean. 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, but call to remembrance the former days in which after you were illuminated, so you got to be illuminated by coming and learning the laws of the Most High. I'll tell you, you can read from Genesis to Deuteronomy, read these laws of the Most High. They're pretty self-explanatory. Nobody ever say, oh, I didn't understand this, I understand that, so I've been saying it. I don't know what part you don't hear. Read the laws of the Most High. Learn the laws of the Most High. So you could be illuminated. Otherwise, you're just going through the motion, and I always say, you know the laws of the land. So you're going to be wise as serpents, harmless as a dove. I mean, you got to learn. You got to learn the other side too. So I'm not just trying to give it to you peaches and cream, because you already know that. Most people already know that. You create that in your own mind. Everything is beautiful. When it's not beautiful. If it is, you better check yourself. This might be your consolation right now. This might be your heaven right here. Might be. You say we love and chastity. We all got to go through something. One way or another. We're going to make it through. Just have faith. That's why he said you have faith. If you have faith, you'll be all right. And that's what he talks about the next chapter. When, Hebrews 10th chapter, where he's talking about the faith, going into faith, the next chapter, in Hebrews 11th chapter. He says, but call to remembrance the former days in which after you were illuminated, once you started to learn the laws of the Most High, you endured a great fight of afflictions. See? We enduring a great fight of afflictions. Partly when ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches, disgraces, and afflictions. And partly when ye became companions of them that were so used. You become companions with those that have went through the same thing. Or they going through it. That's it, it's true. So yeah, I got many stories I could tell. A lot of things happened to me that I could have just said, forget it, man, I ain't gonna do this no more. Unbelievable things. And it dealt with getting jacked up, pain, suffering, afflictions, and mental hurt too. That's affliction too. When you hurt mentally to others. So it says, partly when ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions, and partly when ye became companions of them that were so used. You become a companion with those that are used to going through the afflictions. For ye had compassion of me in my bonds, he said, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye were in heaven, you have in heaven a better and an enduring substance. We do, because we got next. We know we have enduring substance. We just read about it. How it's going to be plenteousness. And we're going to have plenty of food. We're going to have everything that you can imagine and can't imagine, because we in concrete jungle. Streets paved in gold, so ain't going to be no walls made of paper machete. Ain't going to be like this. Solomon had nails of gold. His nails was gold. He used to take gold dust every morning and throw it up in the air and go into his big apple, solid gold chair. Put it like this, Queen Sheba thought the doorman was King Solomon. That's how decked out he was. That's how powerful his kingdom was for 40 years. And what happened? Here's an example. Let's say, but call to remembrance the former days, call to remembrance of King Solomon. What he did in this old age, he went out there, all the women was available. He had 1,000 wives, all the women was available. And he went out there and chose those heathen women, and he started following their customs. Made idol temples and so forth. And that's where we at, brothers, right now, and dealing with our women that are caught up in this world, and they're dealing with idolatry, and you trying to bring them back to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and get rid of all of that. The mindset, it's the mindset. That's why I keep saying you gotta be born again. You gotta be reborn in the spirit. You gotta become a new creature. You gotta become a new man or a new woman. And it starts by being like a little child and just taking this in and getting what you can get for your own self, for your own spirit. So you can look at things different. And most of start showing you things. You look at buildings, you see all these demons on them. You see certain things and movies. You see certain things. You'll start opening up your mind to see all this wickedness that we involved in and living in this wicked earth. That's why it says, be wise as serpents. Serpents is the devil, Satan, Esau, the beast, the dragon. They all represent the same thing, because they're the same principles. Well, you can see